Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conscious Conversations. I'm your host, Katie Augustyn. Yeah, so I am the founder of the Transformation Center, which is based in Westport, Connecticut. And at the center, in addition to the private one-on-one healing with shamanic practitioner healing and transformation coaching sessions that I do, I also have classes and workshops, and sometimes I host other practitioners. And you can check on our website for all the information. There's a calendar there with all the events. Anything that looks good, you can register right there online. And starting in the warmer months, we're going to have sound baths in the backyard again, which I'm very excited about. So check that out. And the purpose of everything we do at the Transformation Center is really to help you remember who you truly are and let go of everything that you're not, so you can just live a life that you love. That's what it's all about. So we welcome any inquiries. Now you can reach out to us. The website is just transformationcenterct for Connecticut.com. So thanks for being here today for Conscious Conversations. I just love meeting new people, finding out what they're all about, who they are, what they're up to. And I'm very excited that tonight my guest is Danna Anderson.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read a little bit about you before we get started,
sure.
so our audience can just hear your introduction. And we also have your slide that we'll put up with your contact. So Danna has been in private practice for over 17 years. Wow. And she is a trauma-informed therapist who specializes in somatic and ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. So this is a little different. I'm interested to hear all about that. And really, the bottom line is that she helps people move through their suffering and struggles so they feel more peace and aliveness within their lives, which is what that's all about. I love that, the way you describe that. Danna is also a mother to 18-year-old twin girls. Well, that's a challenge.
We're in the thick of it right now.
I bet.
All the endings.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. So, and her work with clients is informed through her own experiences and paths she's taken in her life.
Yeah.
Isn't that usually where it starts? Don't you think that?
Yeah, it's a huge part of who I am.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that, like how you got to what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I used to be a high school English teacher.
Okay.
And I lived in Philadelphia. Feels like so long ago even talking about it, but and there was a woman who used to ride her bicycle late night past my my home, my apartment, and we would talk, and she ended up owning a Reiki center a few blocks away. And at the time, there was a lot coming at me. Like I did a Temple University non-accredited past life regression class, and that woman ended up being a Reiki teacher and randomly taught yoga right down the street at my gym. There's all these synchronicities and all these things that were happening, and it all came to be. And so
no
I ended
accidents.
But I
love that synchronicity.
Yeah, and I ended up studying Reiki for 2 years, studying with her teacher who came in from Israel in Philadelphia while I was an English teacher, and realized that I wanted to do some kind of healing work. So I looked into acupuncture school. I looked at MFA programs. I looked at Barbara Brennan Energy School. Yeah, I looked at all these different things and ended up at University of Houston and getting my master's. I mean, that's one version of how I got to at least be a therapist.
Yeah, is that the short version?
Yeah. There's a deeper version, I think, around being a kid, and I've been through a lot in my own life and had my own trauma. And therapy and being a therapist felt like a natural, wanting to understand what happened in my own life and wanting to understand how things came to be the way they were and how people came to be the way they were, and studying that and studying myself and then utilizing that like the wounded healer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The archetype.
Yeah. I really resonate with that.
Yeah, well, I think that's fairly common in our healing professions that a lot of us are in. Because the group that where I met you at the TLC tribe, there's a lot of therapists and healers and other holistic practitioners.
Yeah,
and it seems like everyone that I've met it starts out like to benefit, well, I shouldn't say benefit, but to learn more about themselves.
Yeah, like a yearning.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like some kind of yearning of like, oh, what, or like to something kind of, where I wanted to understand. I wanted to understand how people are and how they come to be and how, and like to move towards the light myself. So everything that I've studied, everything that I've learned through the years has been about like moving myself towards the light and then helping other people move towards the light.
Yeah, well, that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
for myself as well.
Yeah,
and I think so. It's almost like, well, the mind, that's useful is not all there is. So it's like understanding is a large component, but it's not everything. So once you understand it, that's just, to me, it's like the surface level, and then when you go deeper.
Yeah, there's so much. Yeah, like they're like underneath, there's so much. And that's where I like to live with people, is like what's happening underneath.
So,
and like really having them connect with that. Because that's where the healing, like that's where like their healing, their inner healer can come in and help.
Yeah, I love the way you say their inner healer.
Yeah.
I totally, I believe that as well. We do have
which
that.
is different than most psychotherapists. Like that, it's I operate not like in the cognitive. I mean, there is cognitive. Don't get me wrong. Like in the mind, everything about it is cognitive, but there's so much more that's happening within the body, within the energy field, within their emotional like landscape and how that comes to be in the ancestral landscape. There's so much. So there's a lot of richness there, I think, for people to have like a deeper understanding of how they came to be and how they operate and where that comes from inside of them, and how to like be with that in a loving way, so that they can react or take a step back or like just understand like, this is here.
Yeah, it opens up everything once you get to that place.
Yeah, like, like and like not to turn away from it or try to fix it, because that doesn't really work, but to be like, this is here, and like give it love.
Right, and self-love, self-acceptance.
But to get to that, there's some things that have to happen.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah. So when people come to you, do they know that's how you approach it,
Yes and no. Like some people want support. They come to me for different reasons. I think some people want support. Some people are looking for traditional therapy maybe, or some people come to me because maybe therapy is not working for them in the same way, or like they've gone to therapy and it's just something unsatisfying, right? Like, or they've talked about it, they're sick of talking about it, or they may not understand. They may have insight, they may not. I think everybody's different, and they all come in different levels, right, of where they are and their understanding of themselves. But in the work we do, like I've seen some of my clients I have one client I've seen for like 17, 18 years, like since I started.
Really?
Yeah, for a couple,
Wow, that's pretty amazing, because it feels like that once you get to that deep level where the healing can occur, that then they can not need the therapy every time.
Well, I feel like we have layers, right? Like it's like our healing never ends. Like I don't, even the word healing I hesitate on, honestly. But I think our paths, like they don't end, like, oh yeah, I'm healed now, or oh yeah, that part, oh I forget.
Right.
Yeah, like there's layers to things, and it's all and different things may trigger us at different points and different stages of our life.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I know for me personally, it's never ending. Like I'm always learning more about myself and going, oh, I thought I knew, but there's like humility in it. Like, oh, that's here,
Right.
Yeah. So I don't think it ends like, oh, healing doesn't have an end point.
No.
And
true.
I'm wondering if there's a better word even than healing. There's something around it that feels like we're trying to get someplace instead of versus like being with what's there, what's actually there.
Yeah. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, I have to think about like what a better word for that. Because it feels like something like lofty in it, or some kind of thing that you're trying to get to.
Yeah, yeah, because you're right. There's no end point. It's a journey, but I think we do keep, once we're on the path. My experience, and with other people I've worked with, is that it continues on a trajectory of growth. So, like, once you kind of know some stuff, you can't not know it. You know, either about yourself or about the way the universe works or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it feels like once you open the possibilities and open the door, that it's all going forward, like for you, for your highest and best good.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sometimes we go backwards again, though, too, I think.
Yeah.
Like depending on, because like life is still continually happening around us.
Yeah.
Like we might open something and then life is happening, right? Somebody may pass or get sick. Like life is happening. And so when those things happen, sometimes it can pull us backwards, or I don't know if it's backwards or just like...
I think it's just part of the journey.
Yeah, but like something may happen and we may go,
But it's learning too. I guess that's the way I look at it.
We're like the path of learning.
It's happening for us to help us with that. So we needed to learn that, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So
and it might bring up something deep underneath.
Yeah, that needed to come up to be looked at, or I still use the word healed, but it's something specific.
Yeah, and then some things can sometimes break us open pretty wide. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess trauma is one of those.
Yeah, and that could happen even like that can just happen. Yeah.
Yeah, trauma again, it comes in all shapes and sizes, and what may be traumatic for you is not for me. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all sorts of like layers of that as well.
Yeah, and trauma. You know, to me, trauma. We live in a very traumatic world, and I think also sometimes it gets overused. To like
the word.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But we do live in a world that it's like part of being human. I think.
Yeah.
You know, because some people, it's also your perspective and how you've been organized and how things come your way and how you take it and receive.
Yes.
Right. Like if somebody gets sick or something happens or you see something that, you witness something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. It's how we receive it.
Yeah. Like how we perceive it. And there's certain things that are objectively like humans die. Right? Like we all die. Yeah. It's like how we take that and how we are with that. And right. Or, if people get sick, like there's just certain things that are inevitable. And,
yeah. Right. And it depends on what meaning we give it for ourselves. Yeah. Is it horrendous or is it a natural occurrence?
And it could be both.
Yeah.
Depending on the love or depending on the love or how it happens. And and also like my head's going into all these things, like even like cultural trauma and ancestral trauma, because like there's things that may happen and we all have that. I don't think anybody doesn't have any kind of like something that lives within their energy field that they're not
in our well, it's passed down in our DNA to some degree from our ancestors.
Yeah, and then even energetically, like if there's things. I did a family constellations training, like actually right before COVID hit, and that was really interesting. But it's so, like I'm veering off for a second, but like it can live within the system, but also like it gets passed down. Like if there's a secret in the family or things that people don't talk about, it could be living within you or me, right? Like those things live within us,
right?
That we're not maybe even aware of, and we're repeating patterns. Yeah.
No, the awareness is key. I always think that the first step in any process is the awareness.
Yeah, and sometimes we're not aware of those things, or there's things that are living in our subconscious or like deep within, like even archetypally, like that are living within us that, like they take us off guard. And like something happens or a pattern's repeating because we're all human.
Yeah. No, it's great that that you're able to get to the root
Yeah.
of it like that.
Yeah.
So how does the I'm curious because you mentioned in your introduction the ketamine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really curious about how that factors into the work that you do. And
Yeah.
how it helps. And
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. How I even came to it. So
Yeah.
ketamine-assisted psychotherapy ketamine is considered a psychedelic,
Yes. Okay.
and it's a legal psychedelic.
Okay.
And so as a therapist, I don't administer it, but I work with a company called Journey Clinical that does the psychiatric component. And people come to me and we do, without going into like all the details, but basically I do ketamine sessions with them. And ketamine acts as a fertilizer or catalyst to help melt away, I'll say, defenses, it creates insight, like it'll help like dial down the volume on, say, the anxiety or the depression or like whatever is kind of in the way of them being able to like if they're stuck, like be able to be with their inner healer, like really be with like what's happening and how to get themselves out of it.
Okay. So do they have the experience of it?
Yeah. So they come to my office. It's a 3-hour session, and it's a series. Like I do 6 to 8 sessions. Mm-hmm. I do preparation around it, like deep preparation around safety, around like really connecting, really understanding what their intentions are, what they want from it, setting expectations around that, because it's not the answer. It's a catalyst. It's not the like a lot of people will come to it this expectation that it's going to like
boom, they're done.
Yeah, like here's a pill, and if I take this pill, like I will get better. I think a lot of people look at that with all psychedelics, kind of, right? Like, oh, this is the magic thing that's going to like open me, and it's going to but no. It's going to like pave the way. And have you see or open to, and then it's like what you do with it, which is the integration. So like the medicine itself and the experience, which I'm with them for 3 hours. I do it almost ceremoniously, and it lasts about an hour and a half. That medicine, ketamine, and then the other hour and a half we're doing therapy, but it's really me also. Sitting back and allowing them, because they're having the insights, they're sharing in their experience, and that's where like the juice gets really juicy, because they're able to perceive for themselves. Like I'm just there to pave a way and share and hold that space with them, and then they come in within 24 to 48 hours because you have this neurogenesis window, which is pretty cool.
Okay, tell me what that is.
Yeah. So it's scientifically, I mean, I'm not into the science part, but it's really cool. There's this neurogenesis that occurs. So ketamine, any psychedelic actually, so like psilocybin, for example, I think it's 4 to 6 days. So that neurogenesis is like your brain is open the way like a 3-year-old's brain is open. Yeah, like that learning, that malleability of like taking everying in like a new 3-year-old, like that's what's actually happening in your brain.
That is so
for
cool.
as long as you've been in the medicine. So ketamine, it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it's 1 to 2 days. So psilocybin, you're in it for 4 to 6 hours. It would be 4 to 6 days.
Okay.
Ayahuasca, longer, right? Like each
different, yeah.
Psychedelic medicine will have a certain amount of days that you can be in that neurogenesis. So I want to meet with people during that time because that's the juice. Like that's where, like, why are you here? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you spending this kind of money on this experience for yourself and taking this kind of time? Like, what is it that you want from this?
And so then they can create it right there?
Yeah. Like, do the things that maybe they weren't able to do before, or create I want to live my life this way. Like what has to happen in order for that to be that way, and start making that happen. So that's where it gets really exciting for me. I can dork out on that. Like, I think that's like as a therapist and as a person who really wants people to move through their shit. Yeah. Right? Like it's really a great catalyst And I've seen a lot of people like have really beautiful shifts in their lives around it. So not through the ketamine, but through what they're doing with that.
Right. It feels like it could be like these huge like aha moments.
And they might have yes, and like a lot of times people have insight about their life before. Like that's actually something we look at, because it's like let's get that insight out of the way before you actually go into the medicine. Like have the realizations, and some people will have more. Right? Like this is why. Like I make this face. This is why I make this face. This is something that happened. Like I didn't know that this is why. Like they'll have those insights sometimes that weren't there before, and sometimes it'll be more like I can't keep operating this way. Like I have to do something.
Right. And so once they know like why they do things a certain way, have those insights, then they know that they have the power to change it if they want to.
Yeah.
Which sounds like
or to be with, right? Like if there's trauma, like they say there's a big trauma in someone's life that happened and they couldn't face it or even grieve it, it'll give them the space where they can, like there's a space in there for grieving, because sometimes that's what's necessary. Like whatever's, or space in there for the anger,
like
right?
whatever comes up.
The shame, because we all have these emotions, and sometimes they all get tangled together. And so sometimes we have to, I feel like part of my job is to like help people unthread some of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good way of describing it.
Yeah, because like anger is very natural. Like a lot of people are like, I don't want to be angry anymore. But actually, like sometimes it's natural and necessary, and it's like frowned upon, but it's so like, yes.
It's an expression of something. To me, there's something underneath anger, usually.
Sometimes there's really, like I've experienced even for myself, like clean anger is actually kind of like sexy, right? Like there's something where it's like, oh yeah, like there's power in it, and there's fire, and
if it's clean anger,
I think it's called clean, because sometimes I think the anger we're thinking of like can be mixed with shame
or fear
or grief or right, or some kind of like a trauma is attached to it, but it's like the anger of like the no, like the right, like or right, like there's an anger of like a not okay, like a boundary violation of like to feel like the child.
Well, right. Well, that's a thing,
like to me, a child's anger is clean.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right? Like it's not marred by all the crap we have in thoughts that we
and things that happened to us early in our life, and that's going to trigger. Usually anger, I don't know about usually, but often it's like if you feel the anger, then it's because of something that happened a long time ago, and you just get triggered. It's like happening over again.
Unless, like, there's some righteous anger that
which is different,
right? Like around, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I've been like very into like, thinking about the patriarchy and like women's bodies and like the anger of that, and of like what that looks like. But I guess there's something that historical, like deeply historical, actually within that too. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But there's an anger in that. Like there's and it's not a bad thing, right? I think it's like what society has made it, or like like a woman's anger is hysterical, or like.
Well, doesn't it depend to some degree on how it makes you feel? Like if you feel depleted, or if you feel
but there's that's why I was saying sexy. Like there's a clean anger isn't depleting. When it's depleting, it's something is attached to it, right? Like something else is attached to it if it's depleting. So like, but a clean anger where it's just like in like somatic, like it's in your body, you're feeling it, you're allowing it, like
and you're expressing
the dragon can come out, right? Like and then you're able to express it. It could actually feel activating, and there's like an aliveness in it, and it's quite beautiful.
Like Kundalini.
Yes, and so like and it's also necessary. Like in certain, right? Like we need anger to survive. So like I feel like anger's tangled up in our culture with fear and scary, and like there's so much in it. But like once you unravel some of that and experience, like I worked a lot with, and I still continue to, honestly, with my own anger, because it's something that feels like it's always in the room.
Okay.
Like it feels like it's in the room a lot with people.
Yeah.
Men, women, both, right? Like there's anger.
Okay. So you do have some good experience with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great because you can
I
help
feel like it's
people
necessary
understand their own.
Yeah. Like I have, because a lot of times I think it can make people really uncomfortable. And I feel like part of my job is to like, the more I can understand and work on myself, the more I can help people understand and work on themselves. And if I can't go somewhere, then how am I going to take somebody else there?
Oh, yeah.
You're just not able to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's terrific. And so how did you discover the ketamine, that it was going to be a good tool for you?
Yeah. At first, so I did a psychedelic therapy training, like in 2023. I did it. The California Institute of Integral Studies has a psychedelic therapy and research training. And while I was in that program, there were psychiatrists, doctors, therapists, nurses, and they were on the ketamine train, I'll say. And one of the psychiatrists in Philadelphia, her name is Gail Soraya, she did a training for us where we were able to experience it for ourselves and then sit with each other the way we were taught to hold space.
Right.
And so I went and did it, and I had a really big experience, actually. I was surprised by it. And so after that, I was like, okay, this is legal. I can do this with people. Yeah. And I can hold space, and it's really helpful. And it helped me. So let me do that.
Well, that's terrific. You had firsthand experience. And
yeah,
and there's a special training for it, that totally makes sense. I hadn't thought of that, but you would. Yeah. It's very specialized.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to see someone who hasn't done it themselves. No offense for people. But I feel like if you're going to sit with people in a medicine, you need to understand and really know what it is and what it feels like inside of yourself.
Right.
And see other people and what it feels like inside of them.
Yeah, right. To have the big picture and the
to really hold the space
too.
and have have reverence for whatever that experience is, because it's sacred. It's like really sacred. Even ketamine, which is like considered like a club, right? It was like a club drug in the 90s, but I think that it's like any psychedelic medicines or psychedelic medicines, and so it's going to open things and create a vulnerability for people, and there's sacredness in that.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to describe it. I've heard others describe that way, but I hadn't thought of it.
Yeah.
Because of ketamine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's terrific.
Yeah, like because people are meeting themselves. That's sacred.
Yeah. Well, this is really beautiful. We're just about out of time. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you'd like to share before we wrap up?
I don't think so. If there are any questions you have for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just... I love learning new things for sure. So this was very enlightening, and I hope our audience got a lot out of it. We'll put up your slide one more time for your contact info.
Okay.
And people, do you work remotely and in person?
Yeah. So I work both. I do both. I have an office in Ridgefield where I see people. Ketamine I only do in person.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the integration or preparation I can do online, no problem. But in person for that type of work.
Yeah. All right. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tonight, Danna. I really enjoyed our conversation, and thank you to our audience for tuning in to Conscious Conversations. Hope to see you the next time, and thank you to the Westport Library for hosting us and Verso Studios. See you the next time. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.